In this hyper-connected world we live in, it's just so easy to feel like you're constantly being measured against everybody else. So today, we're going to talk about this comparison trap, and unpack a really simple but powerful idea that can help you find your own unique time to bloom.
I mean, really think about it. It's a heavy question, right? That nagging feeling that you're just off pace, that everyone else got a secret map to life and you're just wandering around. That feeling can be absolutely overwhelming and, well, it often starts in the same place for all of us.
So let me tell you a story to kind of ground this whole idea. We're talking about a student, just 21 years old, full of potential, but just completely weighed down by this sense of failure. He felt like he was constantly playing catch-up in a game where he didn't even know the rules.
So what was fueling this? Well, you can probably guess. His social media feed. Every single time he unlocked his phone, he was just hit with this highlight reel of his peers' lives. You know the stuff. Dream jobs right out of college, gorgeous engagement photos, classmates backpacking across Europe. It all added up to one crushing thought in his mind. Everyone else was winning, and he wasn't.
And this wasn't just a once-in-a-while thing. It was like a 24/7 IV drip of other people's perfect moments, and it left him stuck in this relentless cycle of self-doubt. His own journey just felt so small and unimportant. But then, a total change of scenery gave him a brand new perspective.
All right, so let's step away from that harsh blue light of the phone screen and into the natural light of a garden. This is where our story takes a really interesting turn, and where a little bit of unexpected wisdom comes from a very, very grounded source.
So in this garden, the student meets an old gardener. Now, this wasn't some life coach or a famous guru, just a man whose wisdom really came from the soil. And this gardener, he was about to teach him a lesson, not with some big speech, but with a simple, living example. So the gardener just points to two plants. They're side by side, in the same garden, but you could tell they were living in completely different worlds. He didn't say much at first, just kind of let the student look and observe. And right there, in that quiet moment of just looking, everything started to shift.
Okay, now look at this. This is where it gets really interesting. On one side, you've got the spring flower. It's vibrant, it loves the sun and the rain. It's like the classic picture of success, right? But then, right next to it is the winter flower. It doesn't bloom in the spring. Actually, all that warmth would kill it. It needs the frost. It needs the cold in the shorter days to really flourish. It blooms when everything else is totally dormant. So you have two flowers in the same garden, but with completely different timelines and needing totally different things to succeed.
So this simple little observation in a quiet garden, well, it holds a really profound truth about our own lives. Let's break down exactly what that lesson is.
I mean, think about it. If one flower needs sunshine to bloom and the other one literally needs frost, what does that tell us? What would happen if that spring flower tried to be a winter flower? It's impossible, right? And that leads to a really powerful idea.
This is it. This is the heart of the gardener's wisdom. Just let that sink in for a second. The flower isn't looking over at its neighbor, stressing out that it's blooming too early or too late, or that its petals aren't as bright. It just has no concept of being in a race. That's the whole secret, right there. It's so simple. The flower just focuses on its own conditions, the soil it's in, the water it gets, the light it receives. And when its time is right, that's when it blooms. It's such an incredibly freeing idea when you think about it.
So the takeaway here is this. Your timing is yours alone. And that's not just some feel-good quote. It's a real principle. It means that your path, your growth, your successes, they are all tied to your unique journey and the specific conditions that you need to thrive, just like those flowers.
Okay, so understanding the principle is one thing. But how do we actually apply this wisdom to our own lives? I mean, especially when that constant stream of comparison is so hard to turn off.
Well, it really boils down to a pretty practical three-step framework. First, you got to identify your season. Are you in a winter of learning and quiet growth, or are you in a spring of action? Second, you have to consciously nurture your own growth. That means stop watching everyone else's garden and focus on watering your own. And finally, you have to trust the process. Just trust that you will bloom when your unique conditions are absolutely perfect for you.
And honestly, this just says it all, doesn't it? You're scrolling through social media, seeing someone else's highlight reel, their chapter 20, while you're still working through the messy plot twists of your chapter 1. It's not a fair fight. It's not even an accurate comparison. Your story is still being written. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question to just kind of think about. Forget about everybody else for a minute. Just look at your own life, your own garden. What needs nurturing in there right now? Is it a skill you want to learn? A relationship you need to mend? A project you've been dying to start? What's one thing you can do today to nurture your own growth? And just trust that in your own time, you will bloom.